Welcome back to Turf Talk with Todd. Today we're at Adams 12 5-star stadium and we're going to talk about the nuances of football field layout. Five-star stadium is a project R&R recently completed. We designed the remediation of the subgrade and some drainage, removal replacement of the field, and removal and replacement of the running track surface. When you look up football field dimensions, the first thing you'll probably find is overall it says 360 from end zone, back end zone to back end zone, and the width is 160 feet. And so the 360 feet by 160 and football is actually to here. Football field dimensions are the insides of the lines on the length of it. So this is 360. Unlike soccer, as you can see, soccer you could look up and you'll find the same dimension, 360 feet. However, in football, the 360 does not include the line. In soccer, 360 does. That's why you'll see these common back stripes all the time. Most people don't know, not all 5-yard distances are the same. About a month ago, got a call from a school district that said, hey, we think a dimension's wrong, not on a field that we built or designed. And I asked them what makes you think that. And they said, well, our chain gang was working a game and they said that the distance is off on one of the markers. I asked them which one, knowing which one it probably was, from the goal line to the 10-yard line was wrong. I said probably not, so we went on and measured it. It was not wrong. What most people don't know, it's actually longer from the goal line to the 5-yard than it is from the 5 to the 10, 15, and every other 5 yards on a field. Another dimension to consider is the distance between the rows of hash marks. And hash marks are these tick marks that basically go in between the 5. So this is 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and then of course you hit 30. So this row is wider from the row across from it. In high school, it's the widest. Then it gets closer together in college, and then almost half of the dimension of college is pro. Goalpost design is another factor to consider, depending on the level of play. The uprights on a goalpost, depending on the level of play, have 3 different minimum dimensions. High school is the shortest, college requires a little longer, and pro requires the longest upright. Second dimension that changes is the overall width of the crossbar. In high school, it's the widest. College, it's almost 6 feet closer together. That's also the same dimension for pros on the width, even though the upright gets longer for pro. The third dimension is how far is this gooseneck back from the crossbar. 6 feet is the minimum, which is what this one is. If you're doing something new, you really should consider 8 feet, because a lot of people want to tuck a soccer goal under here, and the minimum depth on a soccer goal is 8 feet. One of the recent changes in pro football is where they spot it for the point after touchdown. Now they've moved it all the way back to the 15-yard line, which is why more and more have been missed lately. However, in high school, it's still way up here on the 3-yard line for high school. You may have also noticed that kickoffs are done at different parts of the field. Again, depending on level of play. High school from 40, which would be the closest to the other team, assuming they don't kick as far. Then you get to the 35 for some levels, or the 30. The last thing we're going to talk about today is there's confusion over the 50-yard line and the center logo and how those interact. It actually is required for games that the 50-yard line go through the entire field, which includes the center logo. However, it doesn't have to be permanent. It can be a very thin ghost as long as it's 4 inches wide and they can tell where that is. In this case, a multi-use field, they don't have it permanent. They can just put something light in there for the football games. I'd like to thank Adams 12 5-star schools, 1, for allowing us to film here today, and 2, for being a great client on the project.